Hello, first grade. Today we are going to be working on a time review. So you are going to need this worksheet. Now, what you can do is you can either print out this worksheet if you have a printer at home. If you don't have a printer at home, that's okay. You don't need to copy all of these clocks down. What you can do is write the answers on another piece of paper to help you keep them organized. And then when it gets to the bottom, you'll be able to solve and put them all in order. You can write this on your paper. You can copy that down. All right. Um, Today, you're not going to need to send me a picture of your finished work. So, as long as you have it done, that is fine. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to review time for the hour and half hour. So, once you have this paper sitting in front of you and or another piece of paper that you're going to write your answers on, then you can keep going. If you need to pause, go ahead and do that until you're ready. Okay. So let's look at this first clock. Okay, now I see that my hour hand, my smaller hand, notice how they're all black today. The color's not going to help you. Is in between the 2 and the 3. It's in between the two numbers. I asked myself which number is smaller. So it's 2. 2 is my hour. So I'm going to write that over here. I draw in my 2 lines today, my 2 dots, sorry, to separate them. And then I look for my minute hand. My minute hand is pointing down to the 6. And I know if it's pointing to the 6, that means that it is 30 minutes. So I'm going to write my answer on the line. All right, looking at the next one, I see my hour hand is pointing in between two numbers. It is pointing in between the 5 and the 6. Which number is smaller? Which number comes first on my clock? The 5. So that is my hour. I'm going to write that first with my 2 dots. And then my minute hand is pointing at the 6, which means 30. Okay, looking at the next clock, my hour hand is pointing straight to the 1. I'm going to write a 1. I'm going to write my 2 dots. Then I see my minute hand is pointing straight up to the 12, which means o'clock. And that means that I'm going to write 2 zeros. It is 1 o'clock. The next time, the hour hand is pointing straight to the 9. So I'm going to write a 9 for my hour and my 2 dots. And then my minute hand is pointing straight up to the 12, which means o'clock or 2 zeros. Next clock, I see my hour hand is pointing straight to the 11. So I'm going to write 11 for my hour, my 2 dots. Don't forget those 2 dots, first grade. Now that they're asking you to write them in, you have to remember them. And my minute hand is pointing straight up to the 12, which means o'clock. 2 zeros. All right, and then the last one we're going to do together. My hour hand is pointing in between two numbers this time. It's in between the 10 and the 11. Which number is smaller, 10 or 11? 10. So 10 is my hour. I'm going to write my hour first. Draw my 2 dots. My minute hand is pointing straight down to the 6, and I know that that means 30. All right. Now, first grade, make sure that you have those times written down because in another couple of seconds, I'm going to erase my answer so I can scroll to the bottom of my page. Actually, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to zoom out. So now when I look at my whole paper, I have my answers for my first problems all up here, and I still have them on my screen. They're not under their letters anymore. But when I come down here to the bottom, I see different times. Each one of these problems and times has a different letter in the corner. Do you see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you get started filling in your riddle on the bottom. A riddle is something that you use to kind of figure it out. So I'm going to look. I have 2:30 here. That's what this first clock showed me, 2:30. So I'm going to look down here on the bottom for where it says 2:30. Here it is. And I'm going to write the letter that's in this box, A. And then I can cross this one out because I did that one. The next time was 5:30. So I'm going to find 5:30. That's here. And that's an E. Okay. And then I can cross that one out because I did that. The next time was 1 o'clock. I see that here, and that's an I. Okay, I can cross that one out. The next one was 9 o'clock, and that was an O. Here's my 9 o'clock. Cross that one out. And then the next time was 11 o'clock, and that was a U. I'm going to look for 11 o'clock. I don't see it. Then maybe we don't need it, so let's just leave it. Then the last one was 10:30. 10:30. And I don't see that one either, so we must not need it. So as you go through, you're going to fill in the letters that go with the times, and you're going to reveal a hidden message. Once you have that hidden message, if you want to send it to me or have your parents send it to me on Class Dojo, that would be pretty awesome. It'd be like we're communicating in a secret way. Okay? So this is your assignment for the day. You are going to work on filling this whole page and finding that secret message at the bottom. It's going to answer the question, what time is it when you find an elephant in your car? All right. Have fun with your math today, and I will see you with math tomorrow.